Hello everyone, we will be starting in just a minute. I'm just doing a couple of checks and we will be live. Hello everyone, hopefully you can hear me, hopefully this is live. I'm just going to quickly share a few links, let people know, but we are in the last hour of our Kickstarter and my goodness, what an incredible 31 days it's been. If you're here, if you're watching, please just share the link into the comments on Kickstarter. It should also be on the campaign. I just want to make sure that no one's missing this and I want to make sure that I've got absolutely everything right. I mean, wow, we launched this, it's 31 days ago, I think. I keep saying 31 days. And what an experience it has been. You never know what to expect. And oh my goodness, have you blown me away? I'm so grateful. I am like, it's overwhelming. Of course, for anyone who's new and recently joined us, if you've got questions, please do feel free to ask them. I'm here to just enjoy this last kind of 55 minutes with you, see where we end up, and just to celebrate, because we've hit all of our stretch goals. Our stretch goals have kind of come, they've gone. We created the new stretch goal, which you guys helped us create for the extra animals on the boat boards, and that's come and it's gone. And then we said, let's just aim for 8,000 backers, and that has come and it's gone, and there's just nothing left apart from just to enjoy this, to enjoy the last moments, and just to kind of thank you guys for making this happen. So, as I say, we've still got 50 minutes, but I am so grateful for everything you've done. I'm just going to put the link into the comments so people know that we are live on this side. We are live. Check the campaign page for the link. There we go. That is exactly what you need me to be telling you live. But guys, I mean, it's been absolutely extraordinary. When I started this Kickstarter, I had no idea of what to expect. I started working on this game nearly 18 months ago, I guess, and Sarah and we were in a coffee shop, and I remember it was in a Costa on the bottom of Park Street in Bristol, and we were sitting there, and that was the day we decided to start putting this together. We decided that we had this idea and we knew what we wanted to do. And, I've got some of the kind of the original pieces here, which were from one of the early prototypes. And we just started making this game. We started playing around with it. And then I believe a couple of our friends, Chris and Kyra, I believe they said to us that they were kind of around that evening, or did we want to meet up? And I said, come and play test this new game. It's a few hours old. I don't know what's going to happen. But we just enjoyed it. Obviously the game didn't really work properly. There were things that needed fixing. There was so much work to be done. But that core concept just worked from the start. And from that point on, we just started to build it up. We started to work on this and just kind of grow the game. And one of the things that was scary for me is I'm known for the City of Kings, this big kind of cooperative fantasy adventure game that we've been selling and kind of put onto Kickstarter, and it's done fantastically. But I had no idea who would be interested in a different game, something that wasn't the City of Kings, something that wasn't a big cooperative game. So it was always this nerve-wracking thing where I wanted to make something different to what people know me for, but I didn't know how to go. And we put it live on the Kickstarter, and my goodness, like, as I say, like, you've blown me away. We've had 8,101 backers at the moment of saying this, which is nearly double the amount of people that we had on our previous campaigns. And my God, you know, that's just mind-blowing. You kind of hope that you're going to do at least as well. But with this game, because it was so different, my expectations were so much lower. And you've, like, as I say, you've blown me away. Nicole, thank you for joining us. I certainly feel a lot better. Even when I did the stream 2 days ago, I was still suffering quite badly. Today, I kind of am 99% healed, or not healed, you know, I was ill. You don't heal from being ill, but recovered. And I'm feeling so excited. But to be honest, you know, I haven't slept for like days now, and I am just so pumped. And to see what we've achieved today is the most incredible, incredible thing. The Kickstarter has just continued to blow me away. You see different trends of what happens on projects, but with this project, like, it's just not done anything like what I expected, and I'm absolutely amazed. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to go with names here. So again, as always, I am only good with one-syllable English names. I apologize to anyone whose name that I completely butchered during the stream. But Ryo-chan, I hope that's roughly how I say your name. Thank you so much for backing. If I got your name wrong, please don't leave. I apologize. I'm so grateful that you let the Isle of Cats be your first Kickstarter project. That really means a lot to me, and I can assure you that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you get your game on time at the quality that you expect, and I will be working non-stop between now and that day to make that happen. This is my life. This means so much to me, and the last month has been me saying to you guys, please, can you help me make this game? And in return, I promise I'm going to give you something great. And in 47 minutes time, I have to work on that promise. I will do everything I can to get this game to you, to make it as incredible as possible, and to make you glad that you supported us and joined us. So thank you. Seamus says, any surprise add-ons planned for the Pledge store? So in the Pledge Manager, so for anyone who's new, once a Kickstarter's finished, we sometimes use a Pledge Manager, which allows you to go in to make sure that the money that you've put into Kickstarter is assigned against the right items, and to enter your address. And this is how we ship products to you. Don't worry if you're not familiar with it. After the Kickstarter and before that happens, I will send out an update with everything you need to know. But to answer your question, we will have the City of Kings and Vidoran Gardens available in the Pledge Manager. It will be in very limited stock, but it will be there. In addition, there is one extra thing for the Isle of Cats that will be available. It is a completely unnecessary thing, but some people have been asking for it, and as such, we are going to put it in there. So, as you may know, in the Kickstarter pack on the campaign page, you will see that you get these kind of larger meeples. And these are the ones which are used for kind of player turn order. So they are the screen printed larger meeples, and you get one of each of these in the game. In addition to that, you also get the kind of the standard smaller meeples, which come just in the game, which are used. So what I've decided to do is I've put together a pack of the bigger cat meeples, so it will be 5 of each, which will give you enough to replace all of the small meeples with the larger meeples with the printing on them should you wish. So again, it's not something you need in any way, but if you want to kind of upgrade your game that little bit more, if you just want to have more cat meeples, that is going to be an option that's going to be there for you. I will confirm the details of exactly how it's going to work and what's going to be in it just before the Pledge the Pledge Manager goes out. I'm still just kind of finalizing one detail on it. Let me just see where we are at. Virginia says, hi everyone, what a great Kickstarter this has been. My best by far. Congratulations and continued success. You know, we always talk about kind of how Kickstarters become successful. And a lot of people during this campaign have kind of congratulated me on just how nice the community's been and how well run the Kickstarter has been. And you know, as much as I'd like to take credit, I really do kind of push it back to you guys, because every single one of you has helped to build this campaign. You've shared links, you've clicked on KickTrack, you've backed the project. Even if you're here for just £1, or if you're here for multiple copies of the game, you have helped to push this. You've been in the comments, you're here now watching the videos, you're interacting, and all of those things build a community. And without that, it wouldn't matter. I'd just be sat here doing nothing, hoping someone was going to turn up. So I genuinely just, like, I'm grateful to you as much as anything to make this happen. Let's have a quick look. Drazerin. You know, last time when we ran our Kickstarter, there was a live stream built in, and every time someone backed a project in the last hour, I said their name. Unfortunately, now we've got to move to YouTube and the Kickstarter live stream doesn't exist. I don't get that functionality, but I've decided to push myself by saying the names in the chat, and it is just as difficult for me. But Drazerin, oh my goodness, I am so grateful for you being here with me, and for being here for this final bit. It's an amazing experience. You know, we're currently on 8,112 backers, and we've got 43 minutes left. You know, earlier we were talking about whether we're going to hit 8,000, and now we're kind of well past that. And I don't know if we're going to get to 8,200. I mean, to be honest, even if the Kickstarter ended now, I would be so over the moon with what we've achieved. So, you know, thank you so much. I'd be really grateful if anyone who's kind of here, if you've got the ability to, please don't feel like you need to. Just keep an eye on the comments and see if there's any kind of questions coming up. I would like to kind of jump back and forwards between the comments on the live stream, but obviously it's very hard for me to type and answer questions whilst I'm talking to you guys as well. So far it seems like it's absolutely fine. But thank you for anyone who helps out with that. So Drezerin says that your work slowed down for the moment, allowing you to join. I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, I don't know about everyone else, but my goodness, is it hot here right now. I mean, I know England hot is not hot compared to, like, everywhere else hot, but it is still so warm for what I'm used to. And I'm in a small room, we've got lights on, there's no windows. So anyone who's out there and working at the moment, I completely respect what you're going through. You've got some friends, Rychan says you've got some friends going to Gen Con. They'll be able to pre-order or join the Kickstarter after they see you there. Yes, so at Gen Con, we will be kind of running that prior to, obviously, the Pledge Manager going live. So people who come to our booth and people who play the game, we are going to give you the option of kind of still joining in. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different to how the Kickstarter works, but that will be an option for them. Once we've got past Gen Con and the Pledge Manager is live, then things will change and it'll become hard, or not harder, but slightly more expensive for other people to join in as well. Same shirt as last time. Hope you did some laundry. Oh my goodness, I should have changed my shirt before I streamed. I actually have 2 of each of these shirts. Actually, now I have 3 of them because I just bought some new ones for Gen Con, and the older ones are going to be, like, I don't want to say thrown away, but they're not going to go outside anymore because they're a little bit more worn. But I generally try and switch between which ones I'm wearing. However, as we are leaving for America tomorrow, basically everything is in the wash, and this is a clean shirt today. Why am I telling you this? No one cares about my laundry, but this is a clean shirt for today, but it does so happen to be the same one that I was wearing 2 days ago. Fantastic. Joseph, I assumed that you were Countdown Mike. I kind of put that together, but I'm so grateful. Thank you for that 8,000 person countdown. Currently, we're still on our countdown to 9,000. You've kind of eased up just a little bit, but I'll forgive you because I appreciate that might take a while for us to achieve. Sharon says, I thought we had one large set of meeples from the game. Am I wrong? Sorry, Frank, I'm confused now. No, Sharon, absolutely. So in the Kickstarter pack, which comes with the game you're buying, you will get one large one of each of the cat meeples, and you will get the full set of the small ones. What I was referring to with the big ones is that we are going to make it in the Pledge Manager after the Kickstarter, which is a kind of where you'll enter your address and things. There will be an option to get an additional set of the larger meeples for people who want them. Throughout the campaign, I've had several people contact me saying they would just like to have more of them. So it will be an additional thing that you'll be able to get, but it's completely unneeded. You do get one set within the game itself. So this is a extra thing. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please do come back to me. 105 degrees Fahrenheit in the workplace. I have absolutely no idea what that means. I live in the English temperatures. Let's have a quick look. 105 is going to be 40.5 degrees Celsius. That is absolutely insanely hot. I just cannot even begin to imagine. I think that it's probably 30, 31 here. So, 25% of that, if temperature works in that way. And it is just absolutely insane. Guys, we are down to our last 39 minutes. Obviously, if you are new and you've got questions or things you'd like to know, please feel free to ask them. Remember, if you're new and you're still looking to back, you've got 39 minutes to do it, and I wouldn't want you to be here watching me and to miss out. So, let's just catch up. Constantine says 40 degrees there as well. That's absolutely insane. Jasmine, one large set of meeples in the Kickstarter pack can add 5 of each in the PM if wanted the extra. Exactly. That's exactly how it's going to work. Hopefully that answers all your questions. Are the shirts going to be the Isle of Cats add-on, Nicole? Unfortunately not. This is the same issue that I actually had with the City of Kings, and it's going to be the same for the Isle of Cats, and I'm hoping one day I can find a solution to it. But unfortunately, the way I get these made is just too expensive to be able to kind of pass them on to other people. I haven't yet found a company that is able to do the level of quality that I want for the kind of the long-term durability to make sure the artwork doesn't fade and the style that I use. So unfortunately, that just isn't something at the moment that I'm able to do. But I do hope that eventually I can find a way. And of course, if anyone knows any companies that are able to produce high quality shirts that have kind of non-straight edges and full color, then please do let me know. You're welcome to message me details on that. But obviously they need to be in kind of large quantities as opposed to kind of just the odd one or two. Virginia says, you're a great gamer, chat to us all, but your personality and heart keeps us active and invested for your sake. I eat so much junk food during Kickstarters that I'm surprised my heart is keeping me going, let alone anyone else. So I'm so glad that it's helping to bring you guys here as well. Which cat meeple is my favourite? I don't know if I'm allowed to have favourites. I think it's a really hard decision for me because I do like them all for different reasons. Like, I really love the purple one just because purple is my favourite colour and I think it's really, really, really cool, and I love the idea of a purple cat. I love the white one, the Oshaks, because it's kind of, I think it just feels really classy and a lot more kind of wise. I think it really captures the essence of that character, and I just really, really do enjoy that. The red one, it's really cool to have the antlers. The green one is cool to have the spikes. The blue one is like the cutest by far, and I just love, like, that's the one I would make a plushie out of. If I can make one, I really feel that would work well. And the orange one it's kind of just fun because it's that little bit different. It feels slightly kind of like a rabbit, even though it is still a cat. And again, I really do enjoy that side of things as well. That's good counting down there, Mike. Thank you very much. Guys, we've got 36 minutes left. And as I say, what an incredible kind of result this has been. When when you work on games, and when you're someone like myself where you're kind of independent, and obviously you're working with contractors, you're working with other people. I've got Sarah, who kind of, is my partner, and she spends so much time doing this with so many friends, so many people that help make this happen. Obviously, Dragalisco, who did loads of the artwork. It's always so unknown. You never know what's going to happen. And it's true the Kickstarter obviously raises the funds for the manufacturing and the shipping, and it obviously brings in customers, for want of a better word. But it doesn't pay for all of those kind of upfront costs. It doesn't pay for the amount of my time or life that I invest into this. If you can imagine, for the last year, up to a month ago nearly, this game was basically a secret to everyone apart from playtesters. I couldn't talk to people about it. I couldn't talk to friends about it. I couldn't talk to colleagues in terms of business partners and stuff about it. I kept it secret. I worked with playtesters, and then I guess just over a month ago, because the Kickstarter's been a month, that has just disappeared in my life. But the point being is, you just don't know. And you hope that when you eventually kind of reveal the curtains, when you eventually put it out there, that people are going to see it for what it is. And at the start of the Kickstarter, there was certainly a big kind of back and forth between people who saw it as kind of this lighter weight game, people who saw it more as a kind of a cat party game. And there was a lot of work to get the messaging right, to make sure people understood what the game was, to understand what we were kind of offering. And I found that really challenging at first. And as this Kickstarter's gone on, our campaign has just been incredible. As so many of you know who have been here since the beginning, we kind of just went up and up and up. We didn't have any bad days. Every single day we had people joining us, hundreds of people joining us. And it just has continued all the way up now. And even now, as I'm talking to you, people are joining. And it's because of this game. It's because of this world that I've been creating kind of in a room on my own. And I'm so, so grateful that it's kind of out there now. And for me, there's always different steps. And this is the step where we can say, this is happening in 33 minutes time. This is 100% happening. And we will sign the contracts and we will begin manufacturing, or you will give them the files. We will start kind of getting everything together. And we will begin, and this game will start to take form. It will start to come to life. And then, next year, the game will be onto boats, and it will travel the oceans, and it will spread across the world. And that is so amazing. The last Kickstarter I did, we shipped to 67 different countries. During this Kickstarter, I've had 12 new countries I've added to that list. So this game is probably going to end up in maybe 75 or 80 countries around the world. It's going to go to thousands of people who are going to play it with friends and family. They're going to play it with their cats at home. They're going to play it with their partners and their loved ones. And the knowledge of that is just so rewarding and exciting. And I just can't wait. I can't wait for this process. And of course, I've done it once before. I've done it twice before. But every time is different. We have so many more people this time around. And there's so much more responsibility on me. And as I say, all I can do is promise you that I will give this my all, and I will do absolutely everything I can to make sure this gets to you, and that we just have such an amazing 12 months together. It's a bit less, but this next year is going to be you guys and me. I'm going to keep you updated. We're going to work together and we're going to get this done. I have no idea if that was a question or not. I think I've just been talking for 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know where we're at. So some people are saying Oshak. So I think the cat meeples, you're talking about the Oshaks being your favourites. Megan says, you finally backed the project last night. You couldn't resist the cats and the board placements. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that the cats and the game itself kind of has attracted you into the campaign. And it is just fantastic to have you here with us. And thank you for joining the stream. Thank you everyone who's joining the stream. We are nearly at 30 minutes left, and oh my goodness, it's this thing where I feel like once the cameras are off that I'm just going to sit in a corner and just kind of really understand what you guys have made happen, and I'm so grateful for that. Or I'm going to pass out because of the heat. One of those two things is going to happen. Nicole says, my compliments on the design, art style, front cover of the box, really gorgeous. Thank you so much. You know, it's always a team, and obviously Dragalisco has worked very hard with me. Alec has worked very hard with me. Miguel has worked very hard with me. And Ian's obviously helped with writing. We've had so many other people, and it brings this vision together. One of the things I've learned over the years is working with people who are experts at what they do, but also people who do things that are so different to you. You have different backgrounds. They come from different industries. They have different kind of hobbies. It allows you to bring outside information in. It allows you to kind of innovate and to do things differently whilst having a level of quality. And I'm so lucky for the people I found and I've worked with. And I really can't wait to see what we kind of achieve in like the years to come, and whether we do more games kind of as the team or whether we work on different projects or what happens. But you know, everyone has done such a fantastic job. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm still slightly recovering from being sick, but I'm pretty much back. Mars Bandit, my goodness, I panicked when I saw your name, but it was easy enough for me to pronounce, so that's fantastic. We're in the last 29 minutes, guys, the last half an hour. If you would, please, for one last time, if you would like to share, if you'd like to tell people, just spread the word, because this is the last chance that every single person has. I've just noticed that my mum has also commented and said that mum cares. I'm not sure. I think, she's talking about my laundry. We were talking about laundry 10 minutes ago. Mother, please don't come onto my Kickstarter and talk to me about my laundry when we have half an hour left. That's it now, right? I might as well switch this off and just be done, because how do I recover from talking to my mum about laundry on the stream? God. Oh, okay. So going back to reality, Mars Bandit, the art style drew you in, and you watched me demonstrate the game on the Kickstarter page and you were sold. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you took the time to watch that video. And one of the things I always say to people is that I really want people to be able to, experience the game, to understand what it is. I don't want people just backing and joining us just because they want to buy another game. I love being able to inform people and have them join us. I just want to check on the comments on the Kickstarter just to make sure there's nothing going on outside of my mother. Blah, 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 blah. I'm curious to see what past tiles really look like on a table, how much punch boards it takes. Been watching for a while, decided to hop on after this, I expect. Guys, if you're commenting and you're on the video, thank you very much. Rick has said he would like to see all the pieces in a pile on the table. So let's see if we can find a way to make this happen. Obviously, you can see my mouse and keyboard here. I have not planned this at all. So a couple of things, and this is going to be a terrible idea for me to do this, I'm sure, and I'm going to have to sort it out afterwards. So these are the common treasures. Obviously, these aren't the final kind of components in regards to the thickness. The final thickness is going to be a little bit bigger. Obviously, these are the baskets we've got over here, and then we have our Oshax tiles over here as well. We also have our boats, and again, there are 4 of these. I probably don't need to get them all out, but you can see the 4 different boats that we've got here. And again, this is just the base game. This isn't the Kickstarter pack. This isn't the expansions, it's just the base stuff. You can see some prototypes of the fish here. These ones don't have markings on them, but it just gives you a bit of an idea of how they're going to look. I'm never going to be able to use my mouse again. Over here we've got the various meeples from the different caps. Obviously we've got the larger ones here. I think some of them I may have put over here. I might be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure. We will go with that and see. We are missing a purple. There we go. I think that's all of those ones there. And obviously I know you want to see tokens. These are some of the cards. These are just the standard cards. They don't include the solo cards or the family mode cards. I'm sure you want to see the cat tiles as well. So bringing out some of the cats. you can probably start to see that there are quite a few different cats in the game as well. These ones are a little bit shinier than the final ones that you're going to get in the game. Again, they're not the final pieces. I realise I'm pushing half of this off the camera, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of just some of the things that are going to be in the box. I don't know if I've got anything else with me, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea. So there we go. Let's jump back to me, because I'm sure everyone wants to be able to see me. That's much more interesting than seeing the games. I'm going to try and catch up on the questions and comments quickly, because we are running out of time. So I just want to run through and make sure I've caught up on everything. So, Jim says, almost forgot to back this, got Panic Pledge last night once I realised I hadn't, looking forward to getting it to the table. Thank you so much for joining us, Jim. Thank you for being with us once again. I'm so grateful for your support with previous campaigns, and it is fantastic to see you here. A nice friendly face once again. Sharon, you will get completely detailed instructions on how to play. There will be rule books that come in the game. Also on the Kickstarter page, there are run-through videos that will show you how the game works, and I will also create how to play tutorials, and I will also create a video on how to teach the game as well. All of those things will come once I've got the final versions of the game with me. On the stream, I'm not going to go over how to play the game, but if you've got any questions, please ask. And again, on the campaign page itself, you will be able to see some of those videos as well. Rochan says there's already good videos up, so yeah, thank you very much for that. And people are helping answer that, thank you very much. The solo mode versus your sibling looks very well done too. Yeah, Rochan, for me the solo mode was so important. It's something that I really wanted to push. I felt like it was this was my opportunity to design a true solo experience, a game that has a real solo mode, and I'm so excited about it. I really feel like once this game gets released, that solo gamers are going to love the solo mode in this game, because it is so unique. It is such an experience to play, and like I've absolutely fallen in love with it. And I really feel like, you know, that's one of the things that I'm so proud about with this game, that I'm glad I spent that extra time working on it. Sharon, it's absolutely my pleasure to reply to everyone. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, this is me asking you guys to help me make my dreams come true. And as a reward for that, I give you a game which hopefully you're going to enjoy and you're going to love. But none of that happens without you helping me. So when you come along and you've got a question or a query, why wouldn't I help you? Why wouldn't I answer that? I'm so grateful to be able to help you make a decision, because the last thing I want to do is send my game out to people who don't want to play it and people who don't enjoy it. So, you know, it's absolutely my pleasure. So where we go, Shaman says, will the base box fit the contest expansion, or is there a possibility of a larger exclusive box? It is trendy on Kickstarter projects, but honestly, my goal is always to try and keep it within that original box if possible. So all of the content from the Kickstarter pack, the expansion, will fit into the base game box. It's going to be tight, especially if you do sleeve everything, but it is going to fit in there and it'll be comfortable. I've got no plans for kind of what's going to happen with future expansions and stuff yet, because I really haven't spent time working on those. That's going to be so much further down the line once this game is released and once people have played it and we kind of see where the trends kind of start to head. But maybe at that point we do a different box. But honestly, right now, I'm a real fan of the idea of just making a game that is affordable, that is kind of high quality, and it's just a pleasure to play. And I don't want to start adding all of these extra things on just because this is a Kickstarter and that's the thing that people like to do. Seamus, I think he said that the main stuff will fit. Yeah, exactly. People are helping answer. Thank you so much. Mike is on 8,127 of his prediction for 8,150 backers. So you are looking quite close with 21 minutes to go. I'm still hoping that we're going to push that a little bit further, but we will see what happens. As I said earlier, I mean, This has been incredible. Nothing really matters anymore. What are expansion packs in the future? Will they be different cats or something? Sharon says. So I've kind of just touched on this actually, but let's say right now, I have loads of ideas for what expansions could be. But one of the trends that seems to be happening more and more these days, and I did it myself with the City of Kings, is when a game releases, people announce the expansion straight away. And I kind of have decided with this game that I don't want to do that. I really want to wait for the game to ship and then perhaps release another game and then come back to doing expansions, because I feel like there is so much replayability in the game as it is. And of course, there's an expansion on the Kickstarter already, that just trying to put more stuff in there isn't necessarily the right approach. I'm confident you can play this game countless times with everything in here and enjoy it. So that new content, maybe in 2 years' time, we can start looking at that, because at that point you may want to just have a breath of fresh air in the game. While the main game looks awesome, I'm most excited about the family mode so I can play it with my folks. Yeah, Jim, like, for me, the family mode is a really key part of this as well, because I want people to be able to play it with anyone. I want you to be able to play it with children. I want you to be able to play it with non-gamers. There's so many different reasons for the family mode. There's the fact that I want anyone who buys this game to be able to play it. You know, if you go into a store, you see a cool looking, cute cat game, you pick it up, you don't necessarily expect it to be this big game. So I want you to be able to play something. If you've got parents, if you've got children, people who don't play games regularly, it gives you the opportunity to give them an insight of some of the stuff you do. And just as importantly, if you want people to you've got friends who play the odd game, but you really want to be able to kind of gradually grow them into more complex games, the family mode in this works so well, because you can play the basic version with them, play it a few times, they learn scoring, they learn placement, they learn the basics of how the game works, and then you can layer on the other game to kind of add the complexity and gradually grow them into that. And once they've done that, then you can just start putting them into other games, and you can kind of just gradually use it as a learning process for people. So, 8,132 backers, 24 minutes. I am obviously 6 minutes behind on the comments, so I'm going to have to try and catch up. Megan, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be doing a single box as well. Slivers, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. It's fantastic to have you here. I'm just going to jump into the comments on the Kickstarter page, because I know some people have been putting questions into there as well, and I don't want to be missing them out. Obviously, I'm hoping everyone who's putting questions in there is watching the stream. It kind of feels like it, but if not, I do apologise, but you aren't watching, so you don't know that, so what am I on about? Rick says, thanks for showing the stuff on the video. It's absolutely my pleasure. I do not mind at all. Hopefully that gave you a bit of an idea. As you can tell, I didn't plan that, and I'm looking at all the stuff on my desk now thinking, I can't wait for the stream to end and have to tidy all this up. It's going to be great. So thank you for giving me something perfect to do 5 minutes after the Kickstarter ends. That is the perfect moment. But I guess there's something kind of quite satisfying about when the Kickstarter finishes, taking the game, packing it away and putting it into the box and looking at it and just kind of thinking, this has happened. This is going to be the next thing. This is the next year of my life. And maybe it was a good thing. So thank you. I appreciate that. Richard says, been watching for a while, decided to hop on after watching the video. Thank you so much, Richard. I appreciate you joining us. Even if it's the end of the campaign, it's just as important as the beginning. So thank you so much. Count Tatum says, you showed it to your daughter, it's bouncing with the idea of getting it. Well done on the Kickstarter. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. No better way to spend the hottest day of the year than to watch a guy excitedly play with himself and loving it so much he decided to last minute back on the game. Awesome work and really adore. I mean, thank you. You know, I am equally hot And one of the reasons I'm moving around so much is because I'm trying to create a draft so that I can get some sort of air circulation in here, because otherwise I'm literally going to be refilling my glass of water just from my body, which I don't need to tell you. That's disgusting. But thank you. Rocket says, one of the great things about these countdowns at the end of the Kickstarter is it's the moment where you get to see the real me, because I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I'm excited, I'm passionate, and it's just like a complete mess of me just talking gibberish. So thank you so much. Rocket says, you're not sure if your funds will be ready for the time the Pledge Manager closes, but everything looks so good. And you heard the We're Not Wizards podcast. Well, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. For anyone who's not familiar, check out the We're Not Wizards podcast. I was interviewed, or I was on there talking to Richard, the host, a few weeks ago. It's a fantastic show. I highly recommend checking it out. I'm certainly going to let people know when the Pledge Manager is going to close and when the money will be charged. If you don't have the funds at the time and you're confident you'll have them a little bit later, then I'm always happy to hear from you as well and to find a way that we can make that work. So don't worry about that. We are 15 minutes to go. This is the last 15 minutes. We are at 8,147 people. We are at £467,037. That is just... it's an unreal number. I mean, I've got no idea what that is in US dollars or euros. I know that we passed the 500,000 mark for both of those currencies, and it just blows my mind. It's just continuously blowing my mind. My mouse is no longer movable because of all the cat tiles. I'm trying to get back to the chat. Let's see if I can find it. Nicole says, thanks for getting so many copies of this game to so many reviewers. I've really enjoyed the different perspectives from different reviewers. All seem to love it. It's absolutely my pleasure. For me, as I've said a few times in the last 40 minutes, letting people make informed decisions, letting people see how a game plays, letting people hear what people think. And for me, so many of the videos that I got, John Gets Games, Slicker Drips, Rado, and even my own videos, they're not about people giving you opinions. They're about people playing a game and just showing you how it works. Obviously, we've done family modes, we've done solo modes, and videos are there for each of these because I want you to know the game. I want you to make that decision. And I'm so grateful that you have, been able to see that. So it's absolutely my pleasure for sending them out. Stephen says, I want to thank you for the Sea of Kings. What a beautiful design and experience. I've backed the Isle and really appreciate how different the design is. Can't wait to see the others you have in your brain. It's absolutely my pleasure. I always want to be designing games which are different. I want to become known as someone who you won't expect what's coming next. I want to experiment with things. I want to try and innovate. And, maybe it's not always going to work, but what I do promise you is every time I put a game onto Kickstarter, I am 100% confident in the experience that it's going to provide. I'm 100% confident that it is something that I'm happy to put my name on and my reputation on. And, hopefully in a few years' time, I'll have a reputation and that will mean something, but it's absolutely my pleasure. So apparently we're on $582,562. That's a pretty cool number. I am more than happy with that number in dollars. So thank you very much. I think it's always interesting during a Kickstarter that everyone who's on the page is kind of seeing their own local currencies, and you have all sorts of different numbers to kind of look at. We never really know. Stretch goals become such a nightmare because people don't know if it's in pounds or whether it's in dollars or whether it's in euros. And hopefully one day there's going to be a better solution to that. But for now, it's just, it's fantastic to have all these milestones, because I have learned in my Kickstarter years, these last few campaigns, that a Kickstarter is about many things. It's about creating a game or a product. In our case, is a game. It's about building a community. It's about sharing an experience, but it's also about celebrating, because we never know, there's no cap, right? If you said to me now, let's have 100,000 backers, I would be panicking, but there's no limit to what we can do. So we kind of create these different goals. We create stretch goals. We have different processes that we go through. But fundamentally, all we're trying to do is we're just trying to enjoy that. And these different currencies allow us to enjoy it in different ways. Earlier, we were celebrating, or a while ago, we were celebrating $500,000. Earlier today, we were celebrating €500,000. Not so long ago, we were celebrating 8,000 backers. All of these different numbers just allow us to kind of come together and to look and think, actually, you know what? Yes, we're trying to push for more. Yes, we're trying to grow more. Yes, we're trying to spread the word. But let's just look at what we've done. Let's take a step back and let's remember that we've already achieved so much. And as I said at the start of the stream, like if it ended then, if it ended now, this campaign has succeeded in every way. And it's just, it's a really powerful feeling. So, thank you so much. Daniel has joined us. Hey, Daniel, thank you for joining us in these last few minutes. Jim, even if Cardboard Cats can't avoid sitting your keyboard and mouse, I know I've spent, for anyone who doesn't know, my prior to game design years was very much into video games, and Ella, one of my cats, spent all of her time kind of wrapped around my keyboard, playing with my hand, attacking my microphone during kind of World of Warcraft raids, and I am now experiencing the same with hundreds of cardboard and wooden cats as well. Stefan says we're at 8,147. We are now at 8,151. So for those of you who have guessed 8,150, it's looking like you were close, but I'm hoping we're going to go that little bit further. I don't think we're going to get much past this. We've only got 10 minutes left. But I mean, again, another celebration, right? This is what I was just talking about, goals. This is a made up number. It's a number that we kind of created, an hour and a half ago, but it's meaningful because an hour and a half ago, we sat there, or, nearly 2 hours ago, and said, are we going to hit 8,000? And we did. And then we said, what are we going to do? What are we going to aim for? And now we've hit another goal. And it's just so, I love it. I love it so much. We've got 9 minutes left. I'm going to just go and quickly again check over all the comments and stuff. And when it heads to the manufacturer, can you ask to see if it's possible to use spot UV on the water parts of the board? This would, Seamus, as much as I would love to do that, it is unfortunately just something that isn't an option at this time. We do have spot UV on the box, but the cost of adding it to any component is actually not crazy high, but it is a reasonable amount. And the problem we've got with our boats, especially now we've added all the animals, is each one is unique, which means that we've got to be careful on how we kind of do things with the boards to make sure that moving forward that we don't kind of get too restricted. So as much as I would love to do it, unfortunately right now it isn't something we're going to be able to do. I am so grateful for everyone who's here. As I say, the Kickstarter has been an experience, but also one of the things about this is you kind of get to know people. I see the same names. I see people on this campaign who are on my last campaigns. I see people who hopefully will be on future campaigns. I meet people at Gen Con next week when I'm at Gen Con. Please come and say hello. Please introduce yourself. I mean, I go to Gen Con to meet people. I have a strict rule that for the first, the hour before the convention opens and the last half an hour and afterwards is when I will have meetings with people. If people want to have business meetings, if publisher partners, if distributors want to talk to me, I will not meet with them during the open hours because my goal is to be at my booth. My goal is to talk to you. I am not going to be doing demos. Sarah is going to be doing a wonderful job of demos. She is the queen of demos, and our friend Chris is going to be there also doing demos of the City of Kings. My job is simply to meet people, to introduce people to the world, to answer your questions and say hello. The same with UK Games Expo, the same with any other conventions that I exhibit at, hopefully Origins or Essen or some of these other shows. The job is just to come and say hi and to introduce myself and chat with you. Please include the baby dragon in the base box. I love cats and dragons equally. The decision about what animals are going to be on what boards, on what side of the boards, is a really complicated one. So it comes down to a few different things, because we've obviously got 12 animals We've got the dolphins, which I'm going to definitely keep on one of them, I think, because the dolphins are they're the original, they're the representative that everyone's seen, so I don't want to take them out. But we've also got the family mode and the standard mode, and that's difficult in itself because we want to make sure we've got stuff that's kid-friendly, but we don't want to take away the cool stuff from the adults, so how do we deal with that? So what I'm going to base it on is colours. I'm going to look at the animals we're creating, and we're going to create different ones to have kind of different colours to them. So we're going to have maybe a couple of green ones, maybe a couple of red ones, maybe a couple of grey ones, and so on. And then I'm going to make sure that the different sides are going to have there's as much variance of colour as possible. So if you've got the 4 standard ones, then you may have a green one, a red one, and so on. If you've got the family ones, another green one, another red one. And this way, hopefully, it will do a couple of things, but most importantly, it will help just keep the boats very unique and different looking, and to just make them feel more interesting. So while I'd love to choose specifically based on animals, it's going to come down to what animals I feel work at what colours and so on. So it's going to be a technical decision as well as a visual decision. We have got 6 minutes left. We are 8,158 backers. We are 8 above 150, which I believe was Mike's guess. I'm pretty sure someone else guessed 8,186. I'm not sure if that was the exact number. I feel like it was. We are currently 28 away from that. But if we're only 8 above 50 and 28 away from that, then we need to be, what's that? That's 28, that's going to be 8, that's going to be 36. That means we're going to be 18, which means we need to get that 8169, I think it is, to be slightly closer to that person's guess and slightly further away from Mike's. So I'm turning this into a game. If we can get another 11 backers in 5 minutes, then Mike is not going to be victorious. But if we stay under that number, then I'm going to declare Mike the winner of our how many backers are we going to have completely made up comments conversation competition. So where are we looking? The red hand doesn't stand a chance with this many gamers. Yeah, I mean, Vesh is totally outnumbered. I mean, if you saw all of these ships coming towards you and they were filled with all of these cats, I mean, we know cats, right? I mean, so many of us are cat lovers. You don't have to love cats to be here, but I'm sure a lot of you are fans of cats. And could you imagine if you were an orc and you were on a boat and then you just you got to this boat and it had like 50 different giant wild cats on it? I mean, I don't know how that's going to end for the orc. And then you turn around and you realize there are 8,000 people leading 6 boats each. That's what? I mean, that's 50,000 boats, crazy amounts of cats. Like, that is not going to work out well for Vesh. We've got 4 minutes left. I'm talking, I'm having fun. We should definitely go through this. If you have not backed and you would like to back, then please go to the Kickstarter page now, because we are about to run out of time. And at that point, you will not be able to join the campaign. We're in the last 3 minutes. Frank, will you be showing the new art as it's developed and updates during the manufacturing process? John, yeah, once it is done, I will be sharing it. We are going to be working on it over the next couple of weeks, but the manufacturing timelines and stuff I've got now are really tight. I'm going into speed mode because we are running out of time. I'm obviously also going to be at Gen Con, so a lot of that artwork is going to be happening whilst I'm at Gen Con. If you're at Gen Con, then please come and ask me and I might be able to share something with you. But to answer your question, I will share updates. I don't know if it'll be as they go or whether it'll be at the end, because it really depends on when we get those done alongside Gen Con and how much time I can get to put them together to show you, but they will definitely be shared at some point, and I will keep you updated throughout manufacturing as well with as many photos as possible. Any news about Essen and Wall? Will you be able to meet me there? Essen, I do not think that I will be exhibiting, but I am confident I will be there. I will send out an update, but you will be able to find me there at its very least. We're at 8,162 backers. We have 2 minutes to go. We're 7 backers away from Mike losing. We are 6 backers away from Mike still winning. We are 63. That is getting closer and closer. 6 more people, and Mike is going to lose. I don't know why the end of this campaign, after all of this time, has become a countdown to whether or not Mike wins or loses, but I'm excited and I hope you're enjoying it too. Have you thought about making a book with the stories of the universe? I definitely have. I've even written one with Ian, which is a short one that's 20,000 words long, roughly. But so far, I've not been able to spend the time kind of, getting that finally edited and released. But it's something I'd like to do and continue to do moving forward. To 8,164, we're 5 away from beating Mike. If you want Mike to lose, then you need to join this campaign within the next 2 minutes. If you want him to win, then please do still join, but just kind of pretend that he's won. I don't know how that works, but this is exciting for me. Oh, hell, the victor. Mike, you are not going to win yet. We've got 107 seconds left. I do not know. I don't even know if that 8,186 is a made-up number or whether it was something that someone said. It's just a number that stuck out, but I am confident that they're going to beat you. So, guys, yeah, if you're allergic to cats, you definitely do not want to be on those boats coming up against Vesh. So we are down to the last 90 seconds, and what an incredible experience this has been. Once the time is up, I am going to have some food, I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll come back and send out an update, and we'll talk about the next steps. That will be later this evening, hopefully. Otherwise, it'll be really early tomorrow morning. But we are going to make this game. I'm going to share this journey with you. You are going to be with me. We're going to get this onto boats, and it's going to turn up with you. We have got less than a minute, and thank you guys. I look at this, and I see so much time and work from so many people, and you guys have helped kind of give all of us jobs. You've helped to kind of push this for all of us, and I'm so forever grateful for that. I know that some of you are kind of new to this, and don't worry if you've got questions. Don't worry if you're unsure. I will guide you through this. If you have questions, every time I put out an update, please feel free to join it. Please feel free to add questions and to ask. I will be checking the comments of the campaign page periodically, but I will not ignore you. So please if you have questions, just ask. But equally, also, please show some patience, because this will take a long time, and I will update you as soon as I can. Guys, we have 2 seconds left. Thank you so much for what you have done. We have ended with 8,164 backers, which means I do declare Mike the winner. And we have had £467,671 pledged to this project. And I'm truly grateful for you guys making this happen. Thank you. And as I say, I will do everything I can to make sure that we can get this to you. I can see Mike celebrating in the comments, and guys, we are going to go and celebrate as well. Sarah and I are going to go out and get some food. I'm going to just go and enjoy my evening and look back and just thank you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. So if I haven't said it enough, thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you for being here at the end of the campaign. If you've come across this video after the campaign, then please check out the updates and stuff, and you'll be able to kind of join in some way. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, afternoon, whatever time you have. And guys, until next time, keep on having fun and keep on adventure.